On this episode of Tabletop Continuum, make a stealth roll with advantage to hop on the wagon and listen in to the story of our Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Ankor takes his initiation for the Bountyfolk solo, beginning his search for worth as a worshipper of the god of earth and community and as a protector of his loved ones. As anchors away. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tabletop Continuum. This is Ty.
And I'm Austin.
And if you haven't noticed, Ankor's missing from the party.
What? Who would have seen that coming?
I know, what a twist! But Ankor may be down, but is not out. We have a special little mini campaign going on for Ankor. Who's excited?
That would be more.
Well, you have any questions, comments, little bits of excitement that you want to say?
Just hoping that Ankor will learn a lot of recipes so that way when he returns, he'll cook some awesome meals.
Not more than just recipes.
Oh?
Come on, you really think that he's going to have a mini campaign just to go, I'm a paladin who likes to cook. I'm going to get all the food.
Why not?
This is D&D. I mean, there could be funny little campaigns, but like, connected to World of Morith?
But trauma? When does that happen in D&D? Surely never.
Oh, well then. Shall we get started?
Heck yeah, let's go.
All right. So, now it is time to prepare, settle down, and get ready for Anchors Away. In the heart of the Bountyfolk, a young man lays in bed, restless. The man's sleep shirt is stained with sweat from the deep rage within regarding all that's happened. The night was sad with the arrival of the Bountyfolk, where Corey Soren had told Postal Karma that their lives were on the line for the sake of secrecy, should they leave the location without completing an initiation. Rightfully so, everyone, though except for one, was angered, confused, and even frightened by the idea, and were ready to throw Corey and those who supported him from support. But it was the one person's hesitance that ended up bringing outsiders to intervene and calm the winds. That unsure man was you, Ankor. And is you still, as you contemplate the apology for the man not even a week ago you call your boyfriend. As sincere as he was and has been, you still feel disappointed from not just him, but everything. So much has happened so fast that a lot has gone through your mind. The more poignant of all being how much you rely on others. You've always relied on Corey to cover you, and never in your time in the Royal Guard did you feel like your covers for him ever seemed to even the playing field. You remember the battle with High Chieftain Posos and High Priestess Loch, feeling like it was others around you who made far more impact in the fight. The more you think on the White Prize and how the battle seemed more like a ruse and your parents were going to be brought there regardless of how you fared, you can't help but notice the strange ways that you've been almost played. These half-truths, these holdings of your hand as if you can't defend yourself. Why does it keep happening? Didn't you go into the military to defend yourself, or rather to defend your family? Or has pushing to defend even been something else all along? And if it is, then what is it? What is it for? In the end, you couldn't sleep well. But in your half-asleep rush, you feel compelled to do something, to make a change. You decide to be alone. You don't know for how long, but you feel this solitude for however long may help you ground yourself in what you need to really be, whatever that is. Vaguely, you remember a legend in the mess halls in Malik Show about a paladin's pilgrimage around the world, or what world you know, to become closer to one's god or gods. And now, more than ever, you contemplate pushing your faith just a little bit more into this journey. So, you pack your bags, beginning your way out your bunk before accidentally bumping into Siobhan and the rest of Postal Karma.
Oh, uh, well, this is good timing.
Hey, Ankor. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Cree kind of pops up behind Siobhan as Angus and Yorgia seem to be coming out of their bedroom. Cree looks at you with her wide, almost unnaturally bright green eyes. Good morning, Ankor.
Uh, good morning. Uh, I force a smile, but it's easy to tell that's fake.
Siobhan looks at you for a moment. Is something wrong? Why do you have your bags?
I sigh and look at Siobhan. I think I should travel on my own for a bit. I feel like I've been having my hand held for too long and kind of played, so I need
Cree,
to
go on.
I need to go on a journey of self-discovery.
Cree kind of looks up at you for a moment. Her eyes almost seeming to get wider, but also sadder. You're leaving?
I'm sorry. I feel like I have to do this, Cree.
But you don't have to go. You have us.
I I know, but I want to be able to have myself too.
Siobhan sighs for a moment as you see Yorgia, who's her normal kind of unnaturally kind of deadpan self, and then Angus, who is who seems rather half asleep, not fully in the moment. As Siobhan takes a deep breath, I I wish you could have said something sooner. This is really sudden.
I'm sorry.
I know this is your decision, and I'm going to respect it. But it doesn't mean that I have to like it. I just wish you could have talked to me, Ankor. Honestly,
Mm,
I feel like maybe us being able to talk could have made this not happen. But I hope you're going to be okay. Just don't forget that you're always going to be part of Postal Karma. Got it?
Anchor nods. Yeah, you got it.
She pulls you in and for like a bit of a bro hug before letting you go. The two of you kind of fist bump.
Anchor returns the hug and fist bump.
Cree looks up at you, like rather close to your to your leg, like ready to hold on to you. Her eyes welling up a little bit. You'll be
I
back, right, Anchor?
I lower down and hold out my arms for a hug. Of course I will.
She reaches up to you.
Oh, Anchor hugs her.
She does not want to let go.
It goes on for a few seconds until he has to let go.
She she's standing and you're crouching, but she's not letting go.
Uh, I I have to go, Cree. I'm sorry. And
Okay.
there are tears welling up in Anchor's eyes. This is breaking his heart.
Oh, there tears welling in her eyes too. Well, you better come back, okay?
I will. I promise.
Georgia looks over to you as well, like kind of peeking behind Siobhan. So, good luck, I guess.
Anchor nods. Yorga,
Yeah?
I need to be honest with you. I don't like you, and I have a feeling you don't like me. But I hope that we can change that soon.
How things go when you come back.
Anchor nods.
So, is there anything else that you're planning to do?
Anchor approaches Angus, seeming to want to say something, but he doesn't seem to have the guts to say it.
Angus is kind of rubbing his face for a moment, and when he sees you, his expression grows like the faintest bit of. Actually, no, I'm not going to tell you. Roll me insight.
No, I don't think Anchor's gonna be looking very well. I, I don't even think he's able to face Angus right now.
Okay, so I guess Angus just kind of looks at you for a moment, um, very very groggy, like don't be away too late.
We'll see. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna roll insight just because.
Okay.
That's a 22.
Oh, oh damn. Okay. He's very tired. He's very groggy, but you can also tell there's a bit of sadness and rage. Very, very tiny bit. He's mostly tired, but there's sadness and rage.
I'm I'm sorry. I'll I'll be on the lookout for scrolls, for those teleportation scrolls for you.
Thank you. Just don't be out for long, please.
I'll come back as soon as I can.
All right. Well, happy trails to you, I guess.
To you as well.
The the four of them begin to make their way over to the uh like the main lobby area for breakfast.
Okay. I might do that as well because I want to be able to take care of myself, but I want to take a paper and something to write with so that way I can leave a note for Corey.
Okay. Roll me investigation. to see if you can find a pen and paper,
And also, I'll
or
be on.
rather a quill.
Yeah, Quill, and eh, I'll also probably be looking for Corey as well, if I can.
Okay. Well, we'll see how well you fare on this investigation throw.
3!
Oh. The from what you can tell, the little lobby mess hall is barren. I mean, it's pretty early in the morning. You're just a few minutes before breakfast coming out, so no people except for the other party members, and nothing is on the tables. And you also can't really find Corey either. Do you want to keep trying to look?
Yes, I did, and I already rolled
What you get?
a 19.
Whew, okay. You are scouring through the halls, like looking underneath, on top, like in between every single bench and table. And you eventually actually you find someone over on the front side of the main pillar where the quest board is. And you see this person, um, kind of brown, shaggy hair, kind of down to his ears, with rather wide rim glasses, freckles speckled on his cheeks, in kind of very flaunting but not overly gaudy kind of bardic clothing, as he's writing something with a quill, a few sets of paper nearby, and a small vial of ink.
Um, Excuse me, sir. Uh,
What can I help you for?
um, I was wondering if I could borrow a quill and some parchment. I need to write a note to a friend who's, I think, is not up yet.
Oh, well, if you're going to need a quill and paper, this is the only vial of ink I have. But give me a few minutes to finish up this uh, quest request, and I'll get this and a few pieces of paper for you as soon as I can.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Where are you sitting?
Um, I guess right there, and he gestures to an empty table.
Okay. Charlie, yeah? No wonder the
Sorry?
empty chairs at empty tables. Huh. Anyway, yeah, go sit down. I'll be with you in a few minutes. Just give me a bit.
All right, take your time.
Uh, it takes about 3 minutes for the gentleman to finish up with the quest that he was writing before it is sort of pinned onto the board. Um, he makes his way over to you with a uh, bag on his back that you didn't notice before, because it was actually right at his feet. Making his way to you, he gently puts the vial that he was using, a quill, and 3 pieces of parchment. Figured you would need a few extra.
Uh, Thank you. I'm going to ignore that comment and feel like I've not been called stupid.
He wasn't. Are you wanting to try and see if he meant it to call you
No.
stupid?
No, I just thought it would be funny to say that.
Because he wasn't, but if you want him to, he did now. So, what's the occasion? Got a
Uh,
friend? Got a lover?
Not a good one. I've Let's say that I'm under a lot of emotional stress and I want to let them know that I want to talk face to face about this.
Oh, is it a breakup?
No, no, it's not a breakup. It's giving the heart a break.
Uh, that whole don't want to break your heart, want to give your heart a break kind of thing. I'm not okay, not quite my style, but I guess I guess it's a culture thing.
It's a that's a pretty it's a pretty strange culture thing. The like uh, in a way of saying want my lover to know that I'm hurt and the reason why, and that I hope that I'll heal from this so that way we can go back to how we were or to a
Uh,
better time.
well, uh, good luck with that. Um, don't really know how to help you out with that, but there's all that.
Eh, and as I'm talking, I'm writing my letter and finishing up so that way I can hand quill and ink and what parchments I don't use back.
Roll me. You know what? For craps and giggles, roll me Constitution. Yeah, Constitution to see how well you can multitask.
At 13.
You you could write better. It's not illegible, but it could be a little difficult. It you instinctively have ended up kind of angling all of your lines and text like like slightly, but it's it's legible enough.
I chuckle to myself and say, "Oh, geez, I guess I am stupid."
Well, finished up. You okay if I take my ink?
I nod and hold out the quill and ink and the parchments I didn't use.
He takes everything. Uh,
Thank you so much.
not a problem. What's your name? Probably should have asked you earlier.
Oh, right, the Anchor Galdarm.
Galdarm. Nice to meet you. Galdarm is a bit of a common name, I guess.
Uh, oh, what is your name?
It depends on what circle. My friends, if I had any, uh, they. Sorry, I am a little tired. Give me a moment. I
That's fine, I understand.
am new duty as the quest writer. Have to get up at ungodly hours.
Oy.
Uh, but I guess everyone, well, most everyone calls me Monsieur du Mayor, but I guess if you're needing a friend, you can just call me Loose.
It's really nice to meet you, Luz.
Nice to meet you too. Now, breakfast should be coming out in, honestly, any minute now. So, I'll let you go, I guess, unless you're wanting me to be delivery boy for that or something.
No, I can handle it. Thank you, though.
Not a problem. Well, if you excuse me, I should probably go take a nap. That was the last quest that I had to write for the day, and I am exhausted. I think I have carpal tunnel.
Eh, Well,
Anyway, and he
oops.
begins to turn around and starts walking over to uh, the Sentinels of Hugh. It was nice meeting you, Ankor. Have a good one. As he's walking further in, closer to the dorms.
All
Well,
right.
not really dorms, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. All right. Do I know what room that Corey is staying in?
You do not, but you do remember all of the areas for like all of the sleeping spot, the bunks for every sub guild. All of them have one path that goes in, and it's effectively kind of like going into like a sleeper dorm at at a university. Just a whole line of a whole bunch of doors of tiny ass rooms.
All right. So, so if I go down there, I would not be able to tell where Corey is.
Yep.
Okay. So, uh, with this thought now finally coming to anchor, I'm just thinking, wait a minute, why did I? I guess he. I guess he'll come and find me. I'll just go get breakfast so that way I'm not eh, gonna pass out on the road.
Fair enough. Yeah. After a few more minutes, the cooks begin to come out bringing some very simple foods. I mean, they're cooked and they're warm, which is nice, but they're not. They're pretty basic. Not really a lot of spice or flavor. Just really basic, like oatmeal, mashed potatoes, a few fruits here and there, but nothing appetizing, but not unappetizing.
It still upsets me that that's the case. I wish I could improve it somehow.
So you get your food. Are you going back to where you were sitting earlier?
Yepers.
Okay. Um, roll me perception.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay. You see how the rest of Poster Karma at the other end of the kind of row of tables that you all are on. You can tell that a few of them, Kree especially, are contemplating wanting to scooch over to you.
Mm, I'm kind of contemplating scooching over to them as well.
At which point, you hear a very familiar "Hi" behind you. Why are you not sitting next to your friends? And as the shock like gets out of your system, you notice it's Lita, but she's Big Fairy at the moment.
Uh, well, I've been thinking, and long story more short and interesting, am going to be journeying on my own for a bit to
What?
find myself.
Again, what?
Yeah, a lot has happened, and I felt like haven't been doing things on my own. I know others have got my back, but I want to be able to have my own.
Uh, Interesting. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. I know the others liked you, and you seem like a really cool guy. Have you talked to Lord and Lady Elmerig yet? They kind of need to know that since you're part of their initiation.
Anchor just shakes his head, kind of scared.
Well, eat up and do it now.
Okay, okay. Eh, I eat up and grumble about, so bland, so bland, so bland.
I mean, do you want me to get that spice for you that I found a few nights ago?
No, thank you. I learned my lesson that time.
Are you sure? If it's so bland, I can get that for you and it'll be very flavorful.
I just stare at the fairy.
Lita just gives you like she's leaning up towards you because she's in like human size at the moment. She's leaning up right to you with these big old innocent eyes, and she's like blinking like deep deep like you can't see through me, can you? You can definitely see through her. You don't have to roll.
I, I may be an idiot, but I can tell.
Oh what?
I can tell you're planning something. You're a little prankster.
Smile. And she begins to walk off and get her own food.
I chuckle a bit and then sigh as the, the kind of joy from that interaction fades away.
You about done with your food?
Yeah, I'm about done with my food. Uh, and I'm gonna pass by the party of Postal Karma and say, good luck.
Cree is like chomping down on food for a moment. She's eating the majority of other people's food too, because it seems like they don't have much of an appetite. Before Angus, Angus is kind of twiddling his thumbs at the moment, or whatever he does. He's half asleep. Yorgia and Siobhan look up to you for a moment while Cree is still kind of chomping down. Good luck.
The anchor nods and goes to see Lord and Lady of Merrick.
Uh, Roll me dexterity as you end up you end up bumping into somebody.
10.
You you struggle for a moment to like keep your balance, and thankfully there is a table or bench nearby for you to like hold on to and have your balance. Um, it's Corey, and he is mostly awake. Like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to. Oh, hey,
Uh, hey,
do you sleep okay?
I shake my head. Um, I think we need to talk.
I was kind of scared you'd say that.
Mm, the reality of what that has happened has hit me, and I feel like we need to take a break. But I want to be able to keep the doll on me so that way we can talk when I'm ready. You'll be the first to know when I feel good about talking.
As you're talking about this, you see Corey's like expressions change from shock and concern to a combo of solace and sadness as you mentioned the doll. Yeah, yeah, that's that's nice of you, Anchor.
I'm also going to be adventuring on my own for a bit.
Wait, why? Those are your
Well,
friends, Anchor.
yes, and I feel like I've relied on them too much. I know they have my back, but I don't know if I have my own.
Oh, all right. Well, please be safe.
You too. I love you.
Love you too. I'm I'm going to go get breakfast.
Anchor nods and steps out of the way.
He makes his way over to get food. He's a little quicker paced than normal as he grabs food, not a not a whole lot, and then rushes over to Lita, Tori, Kelly, and Helen, kind of sitting down next to them as they're all getting their own food and sitting down for food.
Anchor just starts whimpering as he's trying to hold back tears. And now off to see the Lord and Lady.
Okay. It takes a little bit since you have actually never seen like where they come from. You assume they kind of sleep on one of the higher floors or something. But eventually, you see them come up towards the quest board actually, before noticing you nearby. Uh, Carmen, the Carmen's translator, standing next to him, kind of looks at your direction, a little surprised, nudging um, nudging Enya and also signing to Carmen something before the three of them kind of go over towards you. At which point Enya kind of leans into you, but she doesn't. Her face isn't close to yours. In fact, she's a little left of your face. And she goes, "Why are you alone?"
I feel that I need to adventure alone. I feel like I've been relying on postal karma too much and
She
not.
immediately stands up, her hands kind of instinctively coming to her hips as her mouth is slightly agape for a moment. Well, unexpected, but Lord Elmeric and I can work on something. Actually, and she immediately like goes over to um Lord Elmeric and she brings a hand to her that to Lord Elmeric's back as her other hand is signing is signing, and the two have a quick conversation for a moment. Carmen chiming in with some signing as well before Carmen looks over to you with Carmen ready to translate as sorry Carmen's translator ready to speak as they go. Well, if you need to do an initiation alone, then you've had food already, right?
Anchor nods, not seeming too pleased about the food.
Then come on with us. We have something for you.
Anchor nods and follows.
You make your way over to like following the three of them. You're actually taken to a room with a rather large map in the center, along with a few other supplies. So roll me roll me perception regarding things about the walls.
Hey, Ty.
What?
It's a natural 20.
Oh, so you see banners for every single guild in the Bountyfolk here, as well as banners representing um, all three of the Bramel nations on the archipelago, as well as some banners that you don't recognize. Well, all except for uh, when it comes to the sort of new-ish kind of banners that you didn't expect here, you see a lot of banners for, you could only assume, tribes in a way, because one of the banners is actually the banner of the insignia for the white prize.
My eyes widen as I see the insignia for the white prize.
And kind of investigate, looking around more as you kind of walk in, you notice that the walls under the all of the banners, because this room is exceedingly tall. There are banners going like up. It almost seems to go like 3 stories upward, and there's almost nothing but banners like circling you. But there also seems to be a draft in here. It's not a bad draft. It's a very welcoming and soothing draft, and it makes the like all the banners just subtly flutter, and everything that is wall that you see underneath almost seems to have an arcane shimmer to it. It makes this room extremely, for lack of better phrasing, magical.
What are all these banners?
Uh, as the three of them continue to like escort you to the center of the room, um, Enya goes, "They're magical banners to represent every group of people in the archipelago. They're tethered to basically the entirety of what they are. If any of them were to fall, then it would mean that those that are under that flag have ceased to exist."
Knowing this now, I quickly look at the white prize one that I saw before, investigating it and seeing if it looks similar to the other ones.
Similar how?
Like, it is it still shimmering and waving strong like the others?
Hmm. Roll me investigation.
That's the dirty. Yeah, that's a dirty 20. Had to make sure it was a 19.
Okay. Um, this is pretty surreal for you. You've never seen arcane banners like this before. I mean, banners back in the Royal Guard and like where you trained and resided were pretty dang common, but ones that were this arcanely ornate is very, it's mind-boggling. Um, from even you're so bewildered that even with all of this, it's hard to tell um, if there's any difference in how the banners are moving. Well, at least among the white prize and other ones that are distinctly related to tribes or people. When it comes to the guilds, you can tell that there is a different sense of how it is waving. All of the banners related to people, which are from like kind of the second row up, because like the first row is the first ones that you see, and that's the guilds. Everything that's the second row of tribes or people up, from the looks of it, the majority of them are waving us in a very similar, strong manner.
Ankor breathes. He's a sigh of relief after seeing this.
Carmen looks over at your direction as well as his translator. Surprised?
Yeah, and also a bit relieved seeing the white prizes banners still waving strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where my family is. My birth family.
It's okay to have multiple families and still call family family. You don't have to be specific.
Yes, that's true, but I feel like I have multiple families with Postal Karma and the White Prize. I consider that party family as well, even though I'm going to be adventuring alone.
Well, every bird needs to leave the nest at some point, even if it's multiple times.
I'd like to see myself as a sea turtle, leaving the island at birth and upon hatching and coming back when I'm ready.
Thank you.
Sorry I didn't hear you, Ty.
Carmen said, well, his translator while he's signing goes, I like you.
Thank you.
And yeah, like very like hastily kind of whistles at all of you as she's standing next to a map table.
Oh, kind of a little panicky, like a oh right, I'm doing something. Kind of walks over to where the whistle came from.
Lita kind of sighs for a moment. All right. So, since you're on your own, we obviously need a bit of change of plans for your initiation. Um, so we have something kind of quick and simple for you. And she signs to Carmen super quick. Carmen, could you get the compass? At which point he gives a quick nod before kind of walking away for a moment to grab this so-called compass. Now, forgive me, because you know me, I cannot do depth perception very well. But, and she kind of slams the map table, we need you to go over to a goblin village 15 miles over in the Ikrai Commonwealth. We need you to deliver a message of alliance to them and has a bit of a bit of an extra mission to help them with a bit of pest control.
Seems like it would be enjoyable enough. Goblins are usually pretty fun.
Yeah, well, these goblins might be a little different. You need to try and be in their good graces.
Oh yes, that's what I mean. If you're able to talk to them, they seem pretty nice.
Carmen comes back with his translator with from what you notice is actually a uh, it does appear to be a compass, but it also doesn't look fully a compass. There's something odd about it. As he walks up to you, kind of gestures it over to you, his hand open.
I reach out to take it a little hesitantly, like a "Are you sure?" motion, and then eventually take it.
At which point he quickly begins to sign while his translator comments, "That is the compass of locating." So it is and is not a compass. When you attune to it, it's going to become a ring, and you're going to have to attune it to a place that you feel that you might get lost about, and you need some sort of guidance to help you find it when you're away. So if you want to, say, tether it to here, you'll be able to see just you, because of that rain, a sort of light in the sky of like, hey, I'm here. And you'll be able to see it from pretty far away on foot. So it should be no problem for you.
Can it be attuned multiple times?
No, it can only be attuned to one place, one time. If you want to tether it to a new place, you're gonna have to take it off and put it back on.
Okay, that's the answer I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. But yeah, and Carmen rustles through his pockets for a moment before also handing you a a rolled up piece of paper with a uh, wax seal of the Bountyfolk. Here is the invitation of alliance that we need sent over to the village.
All right. How far is this place?
Enya kind of sighs for a moment. 15 miles. We're right on the intersection between all three nations. So if you just go, shit, Carmen, where's the map? At which point, Carmen brings a hand out and starts beginning actually moving Enya's hand with one hand down the path in order to get to the village, while his other hand signs a bit more slowly, so it takes a moment before his translator can comment. But he eventually goes, it's only 15 miles of here if you go left. The trail won't be too treacherous, but as soon as you get to the village itself, it might get a little not so nice. There have been creatures over there that have been attacking the populace, and they are unprepared. They may be intimidating in looks, but they are nothing in strength. So this gesture might be their way out of whatever they're dealing with.
What kind of creatures are they dealing with?
Karma's translator looks at him for a moment. Small-ish, long, large appendages, long necks, thin tongues.
Do I, as Ankor, know what these are?
Roll me history.
That's another dirty 20.
There were a few good things about the military. Namely, you had to study a shit ton on the different creatures that reside in the archipelago. In some cases for pest control, in other cases to other not so good things that you'd rather not think about. However, the description that you have been given reminds you of Krothiks.
Those sound like Krothiks. And do I know where they come from?
Uh, with a dirty 20, you can say that you can recall that Krothiks are one of the many native kind of creatures on the archipelago, because there are quite a few parts on the archipelago that are, say, rainforest. So it wouldn't be too surprising if the area that you're going to is a small rainforest pocket and could also inhabit not just Kruthiks, but other creatures, and maybe creatures that you haven't even read.
Hmm. Last question. Bit weird. Are they edible?
I'm gonna need you to roll an extra history on that, brother.
Okay. I have no clue. This is a 3.
Yeah, you have not heard of any kind of Rainbow cuisine incorporating Kruthix. The idea of incorporating such spindly, clicky clacky fucks just sounds disgusting.
Sounds like an adventure.
Lord and
Uh,
Lady Elmeric look at you for a moment, for a quick second, before Enya kind of chirps in, like, "Oh, I remembered a thing," and she goes through her pockets as well. Um, Hold on. We need to give you this before you left with with the others. But since you're here, uh, this is for you only. And she
uh,
hands you a piece of paper.
I just want to say that when she said, hold on, I wanted to have Anchor grip the table and go, holding on.
But she hands you the paper.
All right, I look at the paper.
Uh, Roll me. What would I have you roll for language stuff? Roll me general wisdom.
11.
11. One thing's for sure. This is middle Rame, but you're having a bit of trouble reading middle Rame. Middle Rame has always been not your forte.
Ay, any words I can pick out?
You can pick out um community, and that's it.
Uh, who had this sent to me?
Enya kind of looks over at Carmen for a moment, kind of expecting him to say something. He's not. He's paying attention to something else, having a conversation with his translator. Lo wrote that for us and told us to bring it to you. She said it was a message.
I sort of chuckle and say under my breath, of course.
What, you need help?
I can't understand this. The only word I can pick out of this is community.
May I see it again?
Go ahead. And I hold out the paper.
She stretches her hand out and then her hand comes up like, wait a minute. Before she looks over to a random direction. She looks over to a random direction. Carmen? At which point, Lord O'Meric and his translator like quickly look over to her direction. His translator kind of patting his shoulder super quick, pointing over to Enya before they walk over to her, uh, gently take the paper from her hands before Carmen and his translator are both looking, and his translator then goes, "So it says, revelry ere be thy claim, yet rooted frith bequeath thy name. Thine own community I see in one and all, and they in me."
Hmm. Judging by how that is, I think that's a message to me about connection not only with others, but with myself.
The translator and Carmen kind of look at you for a moment and shrug. I don't know.
I guess I'll figure it out on my journey.
Yeah. Uh Well, you got everything that you need. Was there anything else that you needed to eat or anything? Anyone else that you wanted to talk to? Any animals that you needed to pet before you left?
Now that you mention it, I might want to say goodbye to Moon, and Sunny.
You gonna head over to the stables?
Yes.
You head over to the stables with the supplies and your uh, all of your rations and other goodies in a bag on your back as you head over. You immediately see Moon kind of peek over the tiny stable that is holding him in as you immediately hear his tail just thumping on the ground like thump 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 thump.
I chuckled to myself. Hey, Moon, I gotta go away for a while. Eh, eh, yeah, I have to prove to myself that I can fight too.
He cocks his head. Arr.
I I know I'm strong, but uh, I, I want to prove it to myself.
He's scratching at the door.
I can't take you with me. You have to protect the Kree. If
He,
anything
he's
happens,
still he's still scratching the door.
no, if anything happens to Kree, I will be very sad.
He's still scratching the door before eventually you see Sunny pop up in her own stable, and you hear almost like a husky going.
Oh dear, this is getting harder the longer it is. Uh, listen, I will return. I promise.
Moon Moon is still like no. He paused for a moment on scratching the door when Sunny was howling, and then he just goes back to scratching.
Oh boy. Goodbye. Oh no.
So you have your message. You have your message to the goblins. You have your compass. You have all of your goods. Oh, what are you doing?
I am heading out on my journey, but
Kidoki.
I'm not using my compass just yet.
Okie dokie. Well, roll me a perception as you begin your quest. Well, no, investigation, since you'll be kind of. Well, no, perception, because you need to keep eye on things around you while you are walking.
Well, either way, it's a 15.
Okay. Surprisingly uneventful. You left early morning, and now you've gotten there around. It took you about 5 hours to get there, so now it's kind of around 2-ish. Pretty hot. Not the best when you are in armor, especially since you have actually gone into a rainforest pocket. So it is very humid.
Uh, uh, yep. What's the name of the creatures that I identified again?
Cruthics.
Yep, this would explain the Kruthiks.
uh, Roll me investigation.
Again?
Yes. Because it's now been 5 hours. Given what you were told, you should be near the village by now.
And I got a 19.
Yeah, you see it. That you see the small village over in the distance. You head over.
Yes, I remain walking, and if any goblins see me, I wave.
You head over inside. The village is sparse. The buildings are relatively haphazardly made compared to what you've seen at home. There are homemade, kind of tattered drapes strung along sides of these minimalistic, kind of fort like structures. The atmosphere around you is rather intimidating as these short, large eared, yellow eyed, scrawny individuals in what you can only describe as rags kind of saunter around, occasionally talking to each other in quick phrases before a few of them scattering to the wilderness outside with makeshift weapons made out of wood and bark, um, seeming to ready to take on the unknown, whatever the unknown is. There are a
I
few
not.
more folks that are in the village itself, and you can still hear a little bit of chatter, but more so inside some of these structures. Oh, what do you do?
Well, firstly, I nod as I watch the goblins go out to take on the unknown, and impressed by their bravery and their ingenuity with what they have on hand and what they know what to do. Then I look around for someone to ask for information on where to give this letter of allegiance.
At which point you actually see one one goblin actually make their way up to you. Their hair is kind of medium length. It's a very dark, almost greasy looking kind of black. Um, as they go over to you, who are you? You're not supposed to be here.
I squat down to the goblin and say, "Oh, my name is Ankor Godarm. I'm with the. Why do I keep forgetting names? So, what is the guild that initiating for?
The Bountyfolk.
I'm with the Bountyfolk, and I'm here about an alliance.
Bountyfolk, huh? Give me
Yes,
what you got here.
I hold out the letter of alliance.
He snatches it. He kind of inspects the seal. Huh. Never seen this kind of seal before. Are you a rogue?
Um, and this armor, no, I don't think so.
Huh. And he uses his pinky, which has a you now notice a very long and thin kind of nail. He slides it under uh, the wax seal to undo it, and he opens it and just begins reading it aloud. Dear King Folkland, we are here to attempt alliance with you against the mix. What? You are... And he's continuing to like read this kind of to himself as he begins actually turning around and walking further into the village.
Eyes raise up and follow slowly, so that way, eh, well, not really slowly. I make my presence known.
You see quite a few goblins in outside of their homes kind of look at you in awe, fear, and intrigue. You definitely have a feeling that it's not very common for people, especially from cities, to come this way.
I give gentle, nervous waves to them.
At which uh, it takes a few minutes as you continue to follow this one goblin who has your letter. As they continue walking, and they actually make their way into uh, kind of the largest building in this small village. it's still kind of small for you. You notice that with the doorway, you kind of have to crouch.
Yes, I am moving very slowly in attempt to not knock over anything.
As soon as you make your way, kind of crouching through this door, the goblin that took your paper has seemed to finish up reading the letter and immediately dashes over to another goblin that's on the far end of the building and begins to quickly, almost rambling in a language you do not understand.
Hmm. Yes. I have no idea what they're saying.
Eventually, the other goblin kind of looks at you for a moment. You notice that that they're kind of sitting on something before they kind of bring themselves to their feet, grabbing um, an ornate-ish kind of looking stick. Yo,
Yes?
name
Ankor Galdorm, sir.
from where?
The okay, you're gonna laugh.
The Bountyfolk.
The Bountyfolk.
Where?
Uh,
Real?
sorry?
Not thieves?
No, not thieves. Not thieves. We are a guild. I myself am
I
a paladin.
ask for help.
Yeah, yes, and I shall provide.
You help? You help us? We'll help you. We're dealing with an infestation of clicking monsters. We have lost many of our own. Brother villages have been destroyed. We need to survive.
Eh, Ankor nods, and since I don't remember the name again, I'm just gonna mention the name of the creatures.
The Kruthics.
Crothics. I'm just gonna write that down somewhere if I can.
Probably write it with two C's. You good?
Yeah.
The
So,
the goblin with the cane kind of huffs for a moment. Fine. You stay one night. You help guard. You live. We help. You die. You are our spoils.
fair enough.
Now, Bitte, as he begins to look over to the other goblin who kind of dragged you here, and begins talking with them very quickly. You get a sense of like exasperation from them for a moment before they kind of saunter over to you after having given the other individual the letter proper. So I'm Bitte. That is King Footlet. And now you are my guest, rap. I don't know. Just come with me. As he kind of makes his way out of the building and begins to head over to another building.
Ankor follows. And says, it's nice to meet you. Oh, here we go.
You follow Bit Day, and he leads you to a building quite a bit smaller than the one before. You're not going to have to army crawl, but you're still gonna have to you're gonna have to crouch even in the building.
Oh boy. Well, I'm very, 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 very careful. Plus a bunch more varies that I can't fit in this video.
Roll me investigation.
A 16.
Okay. Looking around, it takes you 5-ish seconds to a, a very interesting attempt of like a makeshift um, grill. You see a very large fire underneath. This is very, very not safe given the materials that are kind of the structure of this household, question mark. But there's the fire underneath. There's rocks that are kind of holding up a larger rock that you can tell the rock that's up top also has something on it that kind of gives it a sort of pattern, and you also see um, something meat-like being cooked on there.
What meat is that?
Uh, Good question. We don't have a name for the things that have been killing us, but they taste okay, so we eat them.
Oh, you eat Krethix?
Crust. Interesting name. But yeah, kind of tall, long necks, skinny tongue, even skinnier, and many more legs.
Yeah. Yes. It'll be
Yeah,
interesting to try that.
yeah, those are crustix. Ah,
I would love to try and cook one myself.
a bit of a hard process. I don't know. For my wife here, she has to try and keep the fire at a very precise temperature, or else the meat kind of chars very, very easily.
Hmm. Does it char all the way through, or is it like a layer of char?
Oh, all the way through.
Oy.
Yeah,
That
it's this meat is very, 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 very sensitive.
okay, so don't insult it. I I mean that as a joke.
that was good. You said your name was Ankor?
Yes, and your bit day?
Yes, I'm Bitbait. And
Oh,
he, as a interesting gesture, kind of a cross between like a bow and also like sticking his head out to you.
Anchor tries to mimic it the best he can when crawling through a house.
um, Roll me Constitution as you end up bumping heads with him.
That's a 16.
Yeah, you're pretty okay. A little, it hurt, a bit, but it's not like you're losing any IQ points from it.
What little IQ points that I have. Ow.
But they,
Sorry.
but they go, ah, you're fine. That's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, okay.
So, food should actually be about done, I guess. So, yeah, at which point, his wife actually comes over, very disgruntled. Like the best way that I could describe her is like she's like a very grumpy looking grandma as she kind of comes up to the both of you carrying this giant rock plate of a lot of thinly sliced but seemingly perfectly cooked meat, which you assume would be Krusik meat because that was what she was cooking earlier.
Does she need any help or?
Oh, no, no, she's fine.
Wow, she's strong.
Oh yeah. It's actually very common uh, for the. It's not very common for goblins like me to be keeping up with the house or really keeping guard in general. I'm more of the messenger or other kind of duties, I guess. You should see her with an axe. It is amazing.
Wow.
Anyway, eat up.
All right, I take a taste first.
By a taste.
Like, seeing as they don't provide me with any utensils, I just uh
You
actually
kind of just. Oh,
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to mimic them so that way I'm not a bad guest.
oh, they're going like hands in. This is finger food.
I take a slice, tear off a bit, and throw it in my mouth.
Roll me Constitution.
Oh, fantastic! Wonderful! That would be a 16 again.
You notice a faint bit of fermentation and makes you question if this meat is expired or not. But you also get to notice a sense of a gamey kind of flavor that you didn't expect. It's interesting. You've never really had actually any meat before that's so gamey. I mean, the kind of not so nice and probably more than dead flavor that's just subtly there isn't the best, but there's also a few spices that are on there and a few like chopped greens that have kind of speckled the entire tower of meat that seem to complement it in a nice way to where it's more palatable.
Hmm, this is really good. What did you put into it?
Oh, just some vegetables, a little bit of blood vinegar, and he looks over to his wife for a moment, asking her a question super quick in Goblin before looking back over to you. Oh, yeah, and grated up roaches.
Oh, roaches?
Yeah, they're very flavorful, actually, very spicy.
Ankor pauses for a second, then just nods and keeps eating.
So, what outside of the paper, I guess. What brings you here? It said that you needed an alliance with us.
Yes, well, the bounty folk need an alliance. This is more of a test for me to see if I'm good for the guild.
Test. Why would it be? You look pretty. You look pretty junked up.
It's I'm thinking it's policy to test the new arrivals.
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, since you're helping out with the pest control, I guess when you're finished up, whenever that's going to be, you, I'll have to double check with King Fulton, but normally at the end of a really big invasion and we succeeded, we eat them in a celebration of our survival and victory. I assume you are going to stick around for that.
Oh yes, oh yes, please. And uh, also, I'm kind of hoping to try and cook as well.
You cook? What kind of cook?
I can prepare some good steak, and I've prepared pretty nice soup before. And I'm just recalling all these times that I've cooked for Postal Karma. A bit nostalgic and sad, but I bounce back.
Huh. Well, that sounds pretty nice. Well, and then suddenly you hear what could the closest thing that could equal to like a like a tiny battle horn. It's still meant to be kind of bassy. It's not like a bugle, but it's like just one note, like, and immediately Bitte and his wife just kind of jump like, oh no, we got company.
Uh, in a quick motion, I start crawling out of the house and rise up, drawing my weapons, and then after a second pass, stretching like, oh man, that's a while to be down on my hands and knees.
At which point, in roll me perception. Oh my god, I just realized that I didn't even do Bardley. Well,
Well, that's a natural 20.
uh, you see, um, you see four Kruthiks coming up from one of the corners of the, like, just outside of the village. And it's at this point that you remember and realize this village is in kind of in like a 3-foot crater. So, yeah. Roll me initiative.
Oh boy. Hope I can take them on. 11.
Okay. Is that is that including your mods?
I have no mods for initiative.
Wah, wah. Okay, so you give me a moment. How are you liking stuff so far?
I think it's pretty nice. The goblins seem friendly enough. If anything, it's more like they just haven't encountered outsiders before and don't know how to act.
Yeah. What is your Dex mod?
10 plus 0.
+0? Okay. Okay. So, oakley dokley. So, we start off with um, one of the one of the adult Kruthiks, as it is going to begin trying to uh, climb down. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will land here, just in range, and it is going to do a stabby stab. Let's see, that is a 10 to hit.
Not even close.
That is a 17 to hit.
Doesn't make it. Almost made it to my armor class, but nah, it's an 18.
Aw,
So I use my shield to block that one.
yep, that you do. So the next adult Kruthic actually heads over to uh let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's barely squeezing um in like the room that it has near its friendo, and it is also going to go for a stabby stab on you. Uh that is a 16. 21 to hit.
No, suddenly a 21 cannot hit when my armor class is 18. It hits.
Okay, let's see. Okay, 13, that misses. So you'll only take 1d6 plus 3 damage. That is 9 points of damage.
Okay, first of all, ow. Alright,
All
so.
right, so it is now your go.
Alright, I'm going to attack this Kruthic right here. The one that's
Okay,
closer to the tent.
okie dokie.
Let's see, what am I going to attack with? Well, first I think I'm going to use uh this-
Thinking of using what?
I'm thinking of using Divine Smite, the Thunder Smite
Ooh,
uh,
Thunderous Smite.
on my sword.
Ooh.
It's a bonus action to use it on my sword, so it's an action to use it.
Okay. You
Uh,
going to go for that?
yeah, I'm going to go for that attack.
Ooh, okay. Well, roll to hit.
Does a 25 hit?
Oh, that hits.
Sweet. So that's 1d8 plus 3, and whatever damage the Thunder Smite does. 2d6s for the Thunder Smite, and it's going to cause the loud ringing, because I'm going to go, incoming!
Boom.
Alright, let's see. What dice do I need? A d8 and 2d6s. Alright, that's 10 for the sword damage, and the
Okie dokie.
2d6s. 7 damage with the d6s.
So 17 points of damage.
Yay! And I still have
Sweet!
one more attack for this action.
Ooh. Ooh, Nelly. Okie
Uh,
dokie.
so I'm going to aim for the same one again
Okay.
with my longsword.
Okie dokie.
Natural 20! I, I am on a roll!
You are on a roll, buddy.
Right, so just one d8 this time, because the Thunder Smite is only for one attack.
Right, but when it comes to your swing, uh, for your for the sword itself, you do double dice.
So 2d8s plus 3?
Yes.
14 points of damage.
Holy moly! Okay. First thing, um, this guy's dead. That one, that one is dead. That one is very much dead. You have cleaved into it so many times, and the thunder smite has actually gone through the skin so much to where at the points to where you've seen parts kind of cleaved and cut open, you see remnants of like the trails where like lightning from your smite has gone through, and it is just like what Big Day said. Their meat is extremely sensitive. It is charred on the inside.
Oy, probably shouldn't have done that.
But now it is the bitty one's turn, as you see two other ones that are that are at the top of the ledge. They are going to attempt to climb down as well. So this one, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that one is going to go for you.
Oh no, now I'm feeling bad fighting children.
That's a 9. That's a 9. Does that hit?
Yeah, suddenly, with my armor class double of that, it suddenly hits.
Okay, so now the other one is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it cannot get close enough to get to you. So now it is this one's turn, and it is angry. It is going to try and do a stabby stab. That's a 9. That misses. Uh, does a natural 20 hit?
No, suddenly the highest number that you can roll does not hit. Of course it hits, but I'm immune to critical hits.
Well, this just rolled really, really horribly. You only got 6 damage on a critical hit.
And I'm immune to critical hits because of my adamantine chainmail.
Oh my god! Oh, snap! Well, it's your go now.
So I just got 6 damage from that.
Yeah. Well, wait. Are you resistant or immune?
I have immunity.
Immunity on critical. Woo! Yeah, that don't do shit. That don't
Wait,
do shit, brother.
wait, it doesn't do shit on me?
You're immune. You're not resistant. resistant makes you take half damage. Immune, you take no damage. At least if I remember right. I'll have to read back on the compendium later. But yeah, it is your go.
All right. Next, I'm going to go after the other adult. Gonna make some orphans.
Roll the hit.
Hang on, I didn't even say what I was using.
Fair. What are you using?
I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Ooh. Is that an action or bonus action to cast it?
It's a bonus action to cast it, so it's an action to use it. And
Okay.
and also I get to attack with it twice since I get to attack twice with actions.
Fair. Very fair. So, where are you wanting to put your spiritual weapon, and what do you want it to manifest into?
I am manifesting my spiritual weapon into
Ow.
bless you. Into a hammer right behind the adult one.
Okay. And how are you going to smash it? How you gonna smash the crossing, dude?
Let's see. First I gotta hit it, and I'm going to try and not smash, whack it into me. So that way I can be ready to punch it. Hopefully, if it flies towards me.
Ooh, okay. Roll to hit.
It's a 22 hit.
Oh, that hits.
Sweet. So that does 1d8 plus 2.
Ooh, Nelly.
And that only does 5 damage. No,
Okay.
4.
Okay. Well, it still rushes over to you as it is just like baseball style, just flung over to you by this giant spiritual hammer.
And you know what? I'm gonna slash at it as it flies towards me.
Roll to hit.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
What you got?
I didn't roll yet. I'm just imagining it.
Tell me what you got. What you really got.
A dirty 20 is what I got. What I really
Well,
got.
that hit.
Sweet.
Roll me
All right.
damage.
9.
Okay, 9 points of damage. Yeah, you slash it pretty good. You hear a as it flings it flings actually past you given the force from the hammer. Falls behind you. One of its arms, one of its legs is very janked up.
Oh man.
Now it's going to be this little bitty Kruthik's turn to try and snip at you. Uh, so close. So close.
What it roll?
Does a 24 hit?
It does.
Okay. Well, you only took 4 points of damage.
Ow, you dick.
And then this other one is now actually going to burrow. It's going to burrow into the ground, and you cannot see where it goes.
Oh no.
Now it is the adult Kruthik's turn. Actually, no. No, it's your go. Because you. No, wait.
It's
My
the
bad.
adult one.
Yeah, it is the adult's turn. So. Oh, 20.
That hits. It's a dirty 20, right?
Yeah, dirty 20. Dirty 20 and a 10. So.
The 10 does not hit.
Yeah, no, I'm the DM, but I make the rules, so just suddenly it's going to hit you. Sorry. No.
Oh no!
Okay, so 1d6 for the stabby stab. You take 7 points of damage.
Oh, I can see where they get their thickness from.
Okay, now it's your go.
How many points of damage?
Hold on. 7.
There we go. Well, there's one child in front of me and one that's suddenly gone.
Yes.
I'm going
And then you have
to.
the adult.
Yeah, I'm going to shift my attention back to the adult that flew behind me.
Okay. Well, you also have your spiritual weapon, which is next to the kid Kruthik that is currently standing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna slash him.
Which one, the kid or the adult?
The adult. The adult is more of a threat than the kid.
Okay, roll a hit.
There's a dirty 20 hit.
No, I'm the DM and I make the rules. Of course it hits.
all right.
It hits. Roll me damage.
Ooh. I got an 11 on damage on that one.
Okay. All right.
I still got another attack.
You do.
Let's see. Is the one that's just been slashed still standing?
Yes, it is still standing, but it's not looking good.
All right. Guess I better finish it off then with
Okay.
another longsword attack.
Well, roll a hit then. What you get?
A natural 20.
Fucking A.
Holy shit, this is my night.
Very much so. Oh wait, no, I completely derped. So the double dice is only for like spells. So, yeah, I'll let you have. I'll remember this. I'll remember to look at this after the. Remind me to look at the compendium later on like stats and such. But for this one, I'm going to let you do like whatever you roll on the dice, and your mod, just double all of it. Screw it. Let's go.
So that's an 18.
Yeah. Yeah, you kill it. You slash and you slash all the way through, like actually going from the basically like the clavicle from the starting at the side of the arm that you janked up, going all the way down. You hear it like screech in whatever emotion or sensory, you're not 100% sure, but eventually it stops as eventually there is more blood than screams that are coming out the the throat and voice of this creature before the literal two parts of this creature flop on each side, dead.
Gross. Not time to murder some kids.
Well, more like their time to attempt to murder you. As kiddo, the one kiddo that you see, is going to go for a stabby stab.
Alright.
Oh, wrong dice. My bad. 15.
That's a miss.
That's a miss indeed. As, let me see. So, the Krothic that you saw kind of burrowed is now standing right near the body of one of the fallen adults, and is now going to attack you with a stabby stab. That is a natural 1.
I almost feel bad now.
Anyway, all the adults are dead, so it's your go, dude.
Alright. Well, where's the other kid now? Like right on this one's corpse?
Yes.
Alright. So since I'm already facing that child's gonna die.
Okay, roll to hit.
21.
That hits.
Alright, where the fuck did my D8 go? You know what? I'm grabbing another. Oh wait, there it is.
Nice going.
8.
Yeah, that one kid, as soon as it pops up, like, dead.
Well, I just thinking to go, wow, that was just on instinct. I don't even know what happened there.
And then there's still this one.
Which then I am also going to turn around and slash at. Actually, wait. Hey, hold on. I got an idea.
Okay.
Make it seem like my hammer is going to slam down into it, but dispel it right as it's about to hit it, just to slash at the thing.
You're going to do a mind game on it?
I'm going to see if I can catch it off guard.
Okay.
Wait, no, Ankor's not that clever. Fuck. Okay, it's just slash at it.
Okay, fine. Roll to hit.
25.
That hits.
Uh, 10.
Tell me how it ends. As you've been slaughtering these Krothic.
I just let out a loud grunt as I slash this Kruthic's head clean. Well, not clean off. I just slash at this Kruthic's head. Maybe off, maybe not. Who knows how strong my swing is?
I would say it's pretty strong right now as you kind of charge yourself and your power to like slash this thing clean, and in a sort of weird sense of victory with this final slash. Everything begins to feel light suddenly as your body begins to move forward and forward with the momentum of your swing. Almost in slow motion, you see the creature, the Kruthic in front of you, begin to be torn by your sword, breaking, just like the one before. And
Oh.
with the more uh, that your sword cleaves through, you see red, and some of it begins to sort of sprain from the wound that you have begun forcing to grow and grow, and the red gets closer to your face, to your eyes. And for a moment, it almost seems like the blood is covering your eyes, or is about to. You close your eyes in instinct, but the momentum continues to happen. It feels weird. It's like you're constantly falling now. Your grip on your sword begins to get lighter and lighter, but it doesn't seem to leave from your hands. You open your eyes, and it's weirdly black, but also not intimidatingly black. You look around you and you see that your feet feel like they're on ground somehow, but you can't see anything around you at all. You can't tell what you're standing on, what you're around, if you're around anything. What do you do?
Okay. The I just say that as I'm looking around.
Are you looking for anything exactly?
Something other than darkness. Even with my dark vision.
Roll me investigation.
13.
Uh, it takes you a while. This is very weird. You've never even heard of anything like this before. You're starting to question a little bit why you left on such a big journey as bringing a letter of alliance from the Bountyfolk, a guild and set of guilds that you don't even know and don't really trust. There's a lot of questions that are going through your head, and it's hard to concentrate on trying to find something here. But eventually, you find almost a small speck, literally a speck of light. It's barely noticeable. It has the faintest glow, but when you actually notice it and your eyes kind of shift to try and focus on it, it's there.
I squint and call out to it, like, hello? And try to walk towards it.
Uh, you begin walking forward, but it's doesn't seem like you're getting any closer.
I break out into a run then.
Roll me Arcana.
18. Wow, I'm surprised.
As you begin like going into a sprint as this spec, there's a change of drive in you that you notice, but also notice that it's not fully of your will. But with it, you notice that the speck gets larger and larger, and as you get closer to it, it actually morphs into basically like a doorway. And as you get closer to it, it gets larger and larger still until you are basically rushing through it into a place completely made of white. Off in the distance, in a sort of fog, you see a very tall figure with a very long, uh, tattered but still ornamental sort of robe in browns and greens and grays. There's lines of vegetation that basically create the rim of the robe. The robe even creating a sort of train behind it that, seen from a side view of this figure, as it very slowly walks, you see green grass, plants, something begin to sort of pop into existence, as if this figure is creating a trail of nature behind it.
I squint as I try to get a better look at the figure, and then my eyes widen. Demier?
The figure doesn't seem to stop walking and more just slows as the sort of head turns to look over to you. Ankor,
Yes?
you have made a very bold decision.
Anchor nods.
You have sacrificed your community for the sake of finding your individuality.
Anchor's head kind of lowers, feeling a little guilty.
But you also understand that your individuality will bring community. This is not an end. This is a new beginning, a cycle in mortality, a cycle in community. You understand? Am I correct?
Anchor's head raises and he nods.
The figure, in one moment, literally in a blink of an eye, the figure Demier suddenly is extremely close to you. He is absolutely massive, probably 20 feet tall.
Ah, wow.
As you stand right at the edge of the front of his robe, as it rustles a little bit underneath, you feel a breeze coming from underneath. And you also hear the rustling of leaves and grass as you are right in Demier's presence. Do you remember the message your aunt gave you?
Anchor nods. I believe it has to do with soft and community.
Revelry will be your claim, yet rooted peace bequeaths your name. Your own community I see in one and all in they, in me. What does that say to you, Ankor?
Ankor ponders for a moment and then looks up that we are. Oh, that I must be at peace with myself to help others find peace.
And what of community that you have not found yet?
Mm, my Orcan community?
In one and all, in they, in me. Before you have a chance to talk or ponder on what he's implying here, you suddenly see a uh, almost like a small brown, basically like a branch of a hand extend from underneath the robe, right near that that extends out to you. It's uncanny how much this branch actually looks like a hand, but it continues like stretching over towards you. Fingers kind of stretched open for a moment before it touches you where your heart is, and it feels warm. You feel an autumn heat radiate from it as it fills your body, and you are reminded of warm days of outside, not really caring of work, as you pondered what it could be like outside of Maya Lekabana show. You ponder on memories of Corey, how we talked about his adventures of going outside of the city, and how you wondered how much that could have been you. Is this you?
He's not sure.
You hear you hear Demier recite the message from your aunt again. Revelry, ere be thy claim, yet rooted frith bequeath thy name. Thine own community I see, in one and all, in they, in me. And then you hear also almost kind of this world that you're in ask you again, is this you?
Ankor is more bewildered about all of this, not sure how to answer that question.
Time will tell. But at this moment, time is anew. And time will not restart, but renew. At which point the hand that is at your heart emits a glow that, like from its palm hitting your chest, as it seems to almost disintegrate your armor all of a sudden, but it's still warm. Your armor, everything that you have underneath, your weapon, everything that is on your person is being disintegrated by this light, and you're left prone. You're left in this area of white with this giant god in front of you, and this area that you're in, this hand that's still on you, is still warm. It's still kind.
I I don't seem to panic about it. I mean, I may be worried about it later if I don't get it back, but I trust Demier.
This will be you. And if this will be you, then this is you. Do you agree?
Ankor doesn't entirely understand, but he nods. He agrees.
Suddenly, the light that's emitting from the branch to your chest gets like even brighter to the point to where it gets hard to see the rustling of the rustling from Demier's aura becomes more and more loud. It's very difficult to understand what's going on. You close your eyes, getting overwhelmed before suddenly everything seems to calm down. Everything goes quiet for a moment. You're back to a sort of strange lulling feeling as you sort of come to. The first thing that you see is black that begins to sort of brighten into red, followed by orange, as you hear a voice, very faint, but the more light that's coming to what you see, literally, the clearer the voice becomes, and it's apparent that it's Bit Day. Ankor! Ankor! And as it begins jostling you.
Ah,
Uh,
yeah.
are you okay? You passed out after killing that last Kruthic. What did they do? Did they do poison on you? I didn't even
No,
know that
no,
they
no,
could poison.
no. I'm okay. I just had a divine intervention.
Huh?
I spoke with my god. They, I worship a god called Demier. He's the god of food and community and the earth. And I spoke with him.
Glotto. Anyway, uh, you, are you sure you're okay?
Uh, for the time being, yes.
All right. Well, I guess I will take the spoils here. Get a nap, and we'll wake you up for the celebration.
Right. I'll take a nap and hopefully wake up so that way I can keep watch.
Oh, sorry. I am not a daytime person. Anyway, yeah, your best bet will probably be to go into King Footland's fort to have a little more space. He might have a spare place for you. I don't know.
If not, I can set up my own tent.
Oh, that'll help. Actually, if you have a tent, how about you just have it over on the edge of the crater?
All right.
All right, thank you. As Bitday begins to go over to the Kruthic corpses and begins to uh, drag them over to one of the other forts in the village.
I help out if I can.
Am I yawning? Why am I yawning? Roll me. um, roll me a basic strength check.
All right, hold on. Let me pull up my character sheet again on a different tab. 16.
Yawning. Why am I yawning? You pick up these crumbling corpses like no problem. You like basically hold them like boombox style, both arms, flipping, like following Pick Day to wherever the spot is for basically housing meat for a big celebration thing before you head over to setting up your tent. You set up your tent pretty well, and you get ready for a nap. Are you sleeping in your armor?
Yeah, I need to be ready.
Okay. You
I need to do a
lay
short
down
rest.
for yeah. Okay, I'll let you do this short rest. You during the time of you like resting and whatnot, about halfway through you notice a faint throbbing at your chest. Specifically where the branch hand was when you were in that divine plane thingy.
Okay. Does
It's not hurting, but it's throbbing in a way that's like it's corresponding with your heartbeat.
okay? I might want to check that out then. Start taking off my armor and such.
You start taking off your armor, and eventually, when you get everything from the torso up off, you see a sigil.
What?
It's a very familiar sigil. You want to take a guess?
Is it Demier's sigil on my chest?
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
You're not gonna tell me, are you?
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
If you did that bad, you could roll an Arcana check right now.
You know what? Let's do it. That's an 8.
That's an 8.
Yeah.
Hard to read, but judging the jaggedness of it, it's Demier. It's fucking Demier. Anyway, okay. I am going to have loads of fun working on this, but with that said, since we're going pretty quick with this, because only one person, this is kind of new for me. I'm not used to solo campaigns, but I'm working on it. So, with that said, this has been another episode of Tabletop Continuum. This is Ty and Austin, and here we shall say bye-bye.
Enjoy your long rest.
Indeed, enjoy your long rest.